In a chaotic world where you have to fight to survive, Sweet Tooth doesn't seem too far removed from today's reality. The series premiered on June 4th on Netflix to blend this post-apocalyptic situation while tackling fantastical elements that are essential to the plot's development: the hybrid babies. Sweet Tooth is much more than a series that has rocked Netflix. In addition to presenting several curiosities, the series also has a lot to teach us. Find out now the biggest trivia we can get about this Netflix series that is buzzing. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to The Groove. You might have seen something a little peculiar on Netflix, a cute little boy with horns sticking out of his head. This is Gus, and he appears in Sweet Tooth, a series that revolves around hybrids, human animals, and a world-changing setting. While our planet suffered from something very similar to what we live today, babies were born that represent the unusual mix between animals and humans. Their origin, which is still unknown, is one of the greatest questions of the fictional humanity of production, and it is these babies who turn obstacles into great lessons about life and the preservation of the environment. The Netflix series follows Gus, a half-deer, half-human hybrid raised by his father in the middle of the forest and isolated from everyone else. The boy learns to live and face the post-apocalyptic reality in addition to facing the shock of the outside world. With an engaging story, excellent photography, and soundtrack, Sweet Tooth is a poetic and necessary work to think about the current moment and the preservation of the environment. Well, let's dive into this world of hybrids. Team Downey is behind the show. What no one would expect is that Robert Downey Jr., famous for playing Iron Man, and his wife Susan Downey are executive producers of the series, choosing the story because they wanted a great co-viewing experience for parents and kids. Downey adds that the comics had this emotional scope and breadth of narrative, and the characters were very engaging. Well, he's absolutely right. We're already waiting for more seasons. Late pilot. The pilot was shot over a year before the rest of the series, and the show creators were worried that Christian Convery, who plays Gus, would obviously age between episodes. Luckily, this hasn't been the case. Gus has not only maintained his appearance with age, but his cuteness and gorgeous acting has been captivating a lot of people. Parkour. The series shows Gus growing little by little, and with it, his ability and agility to run and jump obstacles in the forest. Christian, who is only 11 years old, trained in parkour to prepare for the role and did a lot of his own stunts. He's been practicing for 2 years, and he loves acrobatics. New Zealand's wonderful scenery. It's possible to watch several breathtaking landscapes. Many mountains, rivers, and forests were part of the scenario. The show was filmed entirely in New Zealand, and the Animal Army headquarters were staged at a real amusement park called Rainbow's End. The residents of Auckland, New Zealand were super proud to see the city being showcased around the world. And who wouldn't, right? Even with the current situation in the world, the casts and the health authorities in New Zealand did a fantastic job of keeping them safe and following the health guidelines strictly that the team could be free within our bubbles to create and tell the story. DC Comics. It probably won't surprise you to learn that this creative setup started life as a comic book series. Sweet Tooth is adapted from a comic series of the same name written and drawn by Jeff Lemire for DC Comics' Vertigo imprint. Christian, who plays Gus, has read the comic books and thinks that they're dark and definitely not family-friendly. The tone has changed for the TV show to become a family-friendly fantasy. Puppets. All the baby hybrids are real puppets, inspired by the work of Jim Henson. Gus's deer ears were also controlled by a puppeteer who had to work closely with Christian to ensure that the movements happened in sync with his facial expressions. And Bobby, one of the cutest hybrids, is also an animatronic puppet who is controlled by multiple puppeteers. We can see in the series the perfection and the extremely real details. Gus's hearing is so sensitive that if you look closely, you'll see that his ears are always the first part of him to react, even before his eyes move. Orange, the color of optimism. Orange is used throughout the series not only to balance out the colors of the natural world, but also as a symbol of hope. This message, according to the director, has been created so that all of us, even in the new normal we're living in, can have perseverance and hope and believe that we will live better days. We can see that all the details of the series were thought out very carefully. Are you already up to date with the most watched series on Netflix? Drop a comment below and tell us what you think. If you liked this video, it's very important that you help us and smash that like button and also subscribe to the channel to receive more videos like this. Stay tuned and see you in the next video.